Warriors, welcome back to Gods of Alliance. If you're here, it means you want power, knowledge, and control over the battlefield. This is not luck. This is strategy. Let's break the game together. Today, we're taking another look at Peech because her new relics have the potential to change this hero in a big way. We'll quickly revisit her skills, break down every new relic, check out the new Inner Demon skin, and then take Peech into several different team compositions to see just how versatile she can be. So, without wasting any more time, let's get into it. First, we have Theater of Pain. Peech strikes the nearest enemy 3 times, dealing physical area damage and slightly pushing enemies back. Her passive also increases the range and area of her attacks. And first skill for every Chaos ally she starts the battle with. Next is Harlequin's Punishment. Peech targets the enemy with the highest armor, reducing their defenses while increasing the physical or magic attack of allies with higher intelligence. It's an important skill for both weakening enemies and boosting your team's damage. Then we have the Final Act. Peech links herself to the enemy with the highest physical attack, preventing them from moving while repeatedly stealing part of their physical attack. And after the effect ends, Peech keeps that stolen attack for a short time. Finally, Stage Presence. This passive increases the damage of allies positioned in front of Peech with an even bigger bonus for Chaos allies. So right from her basic kit, we can already see why Peech has so much potential in different team compositions. Now, let's get to what really matters, her brand new relics. The first relic unlock is Tragic Finale. This adds a damage over time effect against enemies weakened by Harlequin's Punishment. Every 15 seconds, Peech can apply Tragic Finale, dealing physical damage over 8 seconds. And if there are no weakened enemies available, the effect targets the center enemy instead. This gives Peech another source of pressure and makes her damage output much more consistent throughout the battle. At Relic level 10, Harlequin's Punishment gets a significant improvement. The skill can now affect 2 enemies instead of 1, prioritizing targets by descending armor, and every enemy weakened by the skill can further increase the physical or magic attack bonus granted to your allies. This is a major upgrade because Peech is no longer just affecting a single key target. She can now create much more value across the entire battlefield. At Relic level 20, the Final Act becomes even more interesting. It can affect 2 enemies and prioritizes targets by descending physical attack. That means Peech can potentially control and steal attack from multiple dangerous enemies at the same time. However, I don't have this relic yet, and this is one of the upgrades that could change Peech's role even further. And finally, at Relic level 30, we have Show Must Go On. Any direct damage Peech deals has a chance to apply Tragic Finale to the target, adding even more damage over time pressure. Again, I don't have this relic yet, but combined with the level 20 upgrade, these final 2 relics could potentially change Peech even more and take her impact in battle to another level. We also have the new Inner Demon skin, giving Peech additional critical hit chance. And honestly, it's not only an excellent looking skin, it also gives Peech even more finishing power, helping her convert all that extra pressure and damage into more dangerous critical hits. Now let's look at her capabilities on the battlefield. For the first battle, we're running Electra, Kayla, Peech, Dorian, and Aiden. This is a very aggressive composition with a strong Chaos presence, which is immediately beneficial for Peech. Kayla provides constant pressure and damage, while Dorian and Aiden help keep the team alive and allow the damage dealers to continue fighting for longer. Peech fits naturally into this setup. Her passive benefits from the Chaos allies she starts the battle with, while Harlequin's Punishment helps weaken key targets and increase the offensive potential of the team. And with the new relics, she becomes even more dangerous over time, adding extra pressure through Tragic Finale, while continuing to support the team's overall damage. This is a great example of where Peech feels completely at home, surrounded by allies who can take advantage of her Chaos synergy, while she weakens enemies and contributes damage at the same time. Next, we have Electra, Nebula, Soleil, Iris, and Peech. This composition is a very different approach and shows that Peech doesn't necessarily need to be locked into a traditional Chaos team. Nebula can amplify key allies, while Soleil and Iris bring their own offensive pressure, and Electra continues to provide value from the front. Peech adds another layer to the team by targeting high armor enemies, reducing their defenses and helping create better opportunities for the rest of the damage dealers. The interesting part here is the flexibility. Even without building completely around Chaos, Peech can still contribute through her control, attack stealing, damage over time, and defensive reduction. And this battle really highlights that her new relics make her more than just a faction-based support hero. For the third battle, we're using Berna, Crow, Goose, Peech, and Aiden. Here, Peech is part of a more unusual composition, and that's exactly why I wanted to include it. Berna and Crow provide offensive pressure, Goose adds his own utility, and Aiden helps keep the team in the fight. Peech brings something different to the table. She can weaken heavily armored targets, steal physical attack from dangerous enemies, and now, thanks to the new relics, add additional damage over time pressure as the battle continues. This team is a good reminder that Peech doesn't need to follow one fixed formula. Depending on the matchup, she can be used to disrupt important enemies, while also improving the damage potential of her own team. Next up, Electra, Tempest, Iris, Peech, and Aiden. This team combines damage, control, and sustain, with Peech adding another disruptive element to the composition. Tempest and Peech can both influence the flow of the battle, while Iris provides strong offensive pressure, and Aiden helps the team survive longer engagements. Peech's ability to target dangerous enemies with high physical attack is particularly valuable here. And with her relic upgrades, she can now apply even more pressure through Tragic Finale and improved Harlequin's punishment effects. The result is a composition where Peech isn't just supporting one specific strategy, she is contributing control, enemy disruption, damage amplification, and additional damage over time. That versatility is starting to become one of her biggest strengths. Now we switch Aiden for Dorian, Electra, Tempest, Iris, Peech, and Dorian. The core idea remains similar, but Dorian changes the way the team sustains itself and can create different opportunities during the battle. Again, Peech works well because she doesn't require the entire team to be built specifically around her. She can identify dangerous targets, reduce armor, steal physical attack, and apply additional damage through her new relic effects. This is another example of the flexibility she offers, depending on the heroes around her and the opponent you are facing. Peech can fill several different roles at once, and that's what makes these new relics so important. They don't just increase her numbers, they expand the amount of influence she can have during a battle. And for the final team, we have Electra, Iris, Peech, Phobos, and Miu. This is another very different setup, showing once again that there are plenty of possible combinations around Peech. Phobos brings additional disruption, while Iris and Miu contribute offensive pressure. Peech fits into the team by weakening key enemies and disrupting high physical attack targets. With her current relics, she already adds much more pressure than before. And once the level 20 and level 30 relics become available, this type of flexible composition could become even more interesting. So, what's the final verdict on Peech and her new relics? In my opinion, these upgrades have made her a much more interesting and versatile hero. Chaos teams are still a clear advantage for her, especially because of the additional bonuses she receives from starting the battle alongside Chaos allies. But as these battles have shown, Peech can also work well with many different heroes and in several different team compositions. The teams in this video are only examples of what she can potentially do. There are definitely many more combinations worth exploring. And we also have to remember that I still don't have the level 20 and level 30 relics. Those final two upgrades could change Peech even further, especially with the ability to affect multiple high physical attack enemies, and potentially apply Tragic Finale much more consistently. So, for now, Peech is already looking stronger, more flexible, and far more capable of influencing a battle. But I don't think we've seen her full potential yet. Warriors. This is how we play the game. Not randomly, not blindly. With knowledge, with precision, with control. We don't build randomly. We build with intention. Master the mechanics. Control the fight. Let's break the game together.